So yes, in yesterday's class what did we complete, ma? Floral characters are done, wherein we have covered up the types of inflorescences, the types of flowers based on symmetry, based on position, and then we have looked into estivation, placentation, seed types, fruit types. Okay, all the examples are important from this area. Definitely you will get one question either in NEET or in EAPCET. Today we are going to start with vegetative characters. You know, at the time of seed germination, the radical which is growing positively geotrophic will give rise to root, and the plumule which is growing positively phototrophic will give rise to what? Shoot. As such, two systems will be developed. One is known as root system, the other is shoot system. The characteristic feature of shoot system is the presence of nodes. Nodes are not present in the root system region. Okay, and nodes at each nodal region, buds will arise. Bud can either develop into a leaf or to a stem branch or to a floral bud. It can form any of that. Okay, and at the tip you will have apical bud. Apical bud also can either differentiate to leaf, stem or flower. Okay, and this is the root system. Root systems will be of three types based on the pattern of their growth. So first you know about the description of the root. What is root? It is the cylindrical underground non-green part of the plant. Okay, how is it growing? Descending portion of the plant axis, which is growing positively geotrophic and negatively phototrophic. Okay, this doesn't have nodes, leaves and buds. And if you take the taproot system into consideration, taproots will have lateral roots, yes or no? Anatomically, from which region this lateral roots will arise? Lateral roots will arise endogenously. Okay, lateral roots arise endogenously from the primary root. Okay, lateral roots arise endogenously from primary root, exactly from pericycle. Lateral roots arise endogenously from which region, ma? Pericycle. So root system includes what? Main root and lateral roots. Next. So this radical gives rise to root system. Root systems will be of three types based on their growth. First is what? Taproot system. In taproot system you can see the primary root, which is the parent root. To this parent root, lateral roots will arise. From the lateral roots you can also see the tertiary roots as well. How the lateral roots are originating? How? Endogenously. Exactly from which region? Remember, ma, that is very important. In anatomy also they will be asking. Next, there is one statement. Radical is short-lived. Here in taproot system, radical itself is growing to the main root. But in fibrous root system, what happens is radical is short-lived. Okay, listen here. Radical is short-lived and all the other bunch of roots will arise where? From the base of the stem. Base of stem. Got it, ma? Radical, is it completely living or is it developing into the main root? No, it is short-lived, and from the base of the stem the roots arise in fibrous pattern. Bunch of roots will arise. From which region? Base of the stem. This is what root system? Fibrous root system observed in most of the monocots. Next is what? Adventitious root system. In adventitious root system, what happens is the root in fibrous roots arise from basal part of the stem region. But adventitious root system, roots arise from any part of the plant body, be it over the stem, be it over the leaf structures like bryophyllum, be it over the roots or at the base of stem. In any regions it will develop other than the radicle. Other than the radicle, roots arise from any part of the plant axis, that is adventitious root system. Examples include grass, banyan tree and sweet potato. Scientific name of sweet potato is Apomia botatus. Okay. So, this is about taproot, fibrous root and adventitious root systems. What are the main functions of the root? Main functions of the root include absorption of water and minerals, storage of reserve food material, provides anchorage to the plant axis, and mainly it synthesizes plant growth regulators, majorly auxins and cytokinins. Auxins and cytokinins. Fine ma. What are the main functions of root systems? Water and minerals, storage of reserve food material, provides anchorage to plant axis and plant growth regulator. Now, so these are the main functions of the root and you are clearly aware of three root systems. The descriptions of them, for statement based it is important, okay, and these are the main functions of the roots. Apart from this, if it is performing any other function, means the main functions of the root are this. Apart from this, any other functions include storage of food materials, it can be the activity of breathing, it can be giving the mechanical support. Okay, any of these if it is giving, then you will call such roots as what? Modified roots. Modified roots. Roots modify because of functions. When functions of the roots get altered, roots will be modified. Okay. So, before going to the modifications of roots, we will once see the regions of the root. Okay. Everybody, can you see the diagram? At the base or the tip of the root, listen here everybody, at the base or the tip of the root, you can see root cap. This is the small thimble like structure. Small thimble cap like structure. They can go now. Listen, root cap is small thimble cap like structure. Okay. This is of what tissue? Parenchymatous. They are abundant in Golgi bodies. Abundance of Golgi bodies will create mucilaginous structure which will help in positive geotrophic movement. Remember ma, two terms, proximal and distal. Proximal to the root cap region is the region of meristematic activity. In the region of meristematic activity, it is very much important to know what type of cells are present. What type of cells are present? Meristematic cells. And root cap is at which region? Apical region of the root. Yes or no? Apical region or terminal region. Meristematic region, which has meristematic cells, which is addressed as root apical meristem. This is in the subapical or subterminal region, because this is at what part ma? Proximal to root cap. Okay, this is subapical or subterminal. Okay, subapical, subterminal. The cells of the root apical meristem, they are also parenchymatous. They have thin cellulosic cell wall. They don't have any intercellular spaces. They have what connections? Plasmodesmatal connections. We have already discussed now once what are the characteristic features of meristematic cells. What are they? First is they are parenchymatous. They have thin cellulosic cell wall, no intercellular spaces. They are connected via plasmodesmatal connections, large nucleus, dense cytoplasm. These are the characteristic features of meristematic cells. Such cells are present at which region? Meristematic region. And root apical meristem, is it at apical part? No, subapical or subterminal part. To which region, how can you address this properly? Root apical meristem or region of meristematic activity is proximal to the root cap and distal to the region of elongation. Remember the terms proximal and distal. It is proximal to which region ma? Distal to region of elongation. Elongation region, if you consider beta, region of elongation. Okay ma, region of elongation. Here what happens? Increase in vacuolation. Plant growth development we have learnt, no? Same cells will be there. Increase in vacuolation, cell size get increases, cell wall depositions are observed. That you will see in region of elongation. Where is region of elongation present? Proximal to meristematic activity, distal to region of maturation. And region of maturation is proximal to region of elongation. Here cells will undergo both structural and functional differentiation. Structural and functional differentiation. Okay, and in region of maturation, if you see in this region, root hairs will arise. Region of maturation, root hairs arise. Root hairs arise at region of maturation. Where are root hairs present? Region of maturation activity. Where are lateral roots present? From region of elongation to region of maturation, anywhere the lateral roots will arise if it is taproot system. Okay, how they are arising? Endogenously, especially from pericycle. Understood about regions of root? Where are root hairs present? Region of maturation. Understood completely? Regions of root. Where is region of elongation present? Proximal to? Distal to? Root apical meristem is at which region? Subapical, very good, or subterminal. Proximal to? Distal to? Which is present at the apical end? Root cap. How can you define root cap as? Small thimble cap like structures Which organelles are abundant in the root cap? Done with the regions of root, everybody. Yeah, we will move on to the modifications of root system. Okay. First I will roughly tell you all the modifications, then we will write down it in a one chart. Okay. First, storage roots, those roots which are storing the food materials. First, taproot modification, you can see carrot, radish, turnip. Carrot, radish and turnip. Fibrous root system, asparagus, where roots are storing the food material, they are edible, we will be eating them. Next, adventitious root system, sweet potato. Okay. How they are arising? From the nodes of the stem. Okay, sweet potato, which is known as Apomia batatas. Respiratory roots. Respiratory roots are also known as pneumatophores or breathing roots. What happens is they grow positively geotrophic, and as the plant is in halophilic conditions, it is deprived of oxygen. Okay. So, for the oxygenic needs, the root will arise positively phototrophic again above the water bodies, and it will breathe for gaseous exchange. It will take the oxygen. So, they are also known as what ma? Pneumatophores or breathing roots. Examples include Rhizophora and Avicennia. Mangrove plants examples are Rhizophora and Avicennia. Okay, and they are also viviparous plants. Okay, where seed germination takes place on the plant itself. We have learnt in PGD, right? Next is nodular roots. Nodular roots, they have symbiotic association with gram-negative bacteria, that is Rhizobium leguminosarum, right? For what fixation? Nitrogen fixation. Seen in what plants? Legume plants, Fabaceae members. Okay. Next is velamen roots. These plants will grow on the stem of the other plants, known as what? Velamen roots. Example, Vanda. Next, photosynthetic roots. The roots are green in color because of chlorophyll presence in them. They conduct photosynthesis and prepare their own food material. Example is Taeniophyllum. Prop roots or pillar roots, they are adventitious in their origin. They grow positively geotrophic from lateral branches. From lateral branches they grow positively geotrophic. Prop roots are also known as pillar roots because they seem to be like a pillars. Next is stilt roots. Stilt roots are observed in maize and sugarcane. See, you can see they are arising from the lower node of the main stem. Stilt roots are arising from lower nodes of the main stem. The main function of this prop roots and stilt roots is what ma? Mechanical support. The images I have given so that you will print it in your mind. Next is hostorial roots. Hostorial roots are also known as parasitic roots. We have two types of parasitic roots, partial parasitic roots, complete parasitic roots. Partial parasitic roots will dwell only into the xylem tissues. Complete parasitic roots will dwell both into the xylem and phloem tissues. Okay. So, here Hostoria is dwelling into the xylem. Those are partial parasites. Examples include Viscum and Shriga. Complete parasites examples. Very good. You are so much intelligent, right? Now let us put everything in a single slide. Yes. Taproots, storage root modification, what we have? Carrot, turnip, radish. Fibrous root, asparagus. Adventitious root, sweet potato. That is Apomia batatas, right? Next, those roots which are modified to give mechanical support includes what ma? Prop roots and stilt roots. Prop roots are also known as pillar roots. Example, banyan tree. Okay, Here they are of what origin ma? Adventitious in origin. Adventitious only, no, because they are from lateral branches, and they are what? Positively geotrophic. Clear, right ma? Next is stilt roots. Stilt roots examples include maize and sugarcane. They also aid mechanical support. They arise from which region? Lower nodes of main stem. Okay. Next is what? Hostorial roots. Hostorial roots are also known as what? Parasitic roots. As such, we have two types of parasitic roots. What are they? Partial parasites and complete parasites. Partial and complete parasites. Complete parasites include Cuscuta and Rafflesia. Partial parasites include what na? Viscum striga. Okay. Next, epiphytes, which have what type of roots? Velamen roots. Examples include Vanda. What is their main role? To absorb moisture from the atmosphere. Nodular roots, also known as legume roots, observed in all the members of Fabaceae. Next, pneumatophores are breathing roots. Okay, pneumatophores are breathing roots. They are positively phototrophic. Yes or no? They arise vertically upwards. They are positively phototrophic. Examples include mangrove plants like Rhizophora, Abyssinia. Okay. Chlorophyllous roots which perform photosynthesis, Taeniophyllum. So all these root modifications, amongst that which are specific only for EAPCET, not for NEET, include chlorophyllous roots, parasitic roots. Rest all are important both for NEET and EAPCET. Got it, ma? If you remember this one chart, knowing out what is adventitious in origin, what is growing positively phototrophic and positively geotrophic, what are the examples, that makes out clear and makes it complete, all the root modifications. Clear? Any doubts anywhere? Shall we move on to the stem modifications? How can you describe the stem? Ascending part of the plant axis, where plumule will give rise to shoot system. Here, shoot system will be growing positively phototrophic and negatively geotrophic. It has nodes, internodes, it bears leaves, flowers and fruits. So, what is the nodal region where leaves are born? Internodes are the portions between two nodes. More the internodal length, more will be the length of stem. Okay, that is the action of gibberellins, right? What gibberellins will do? They will increase the internodal length of the stem. Yes, Stem will bear two types of buds. First is terminal or apical bud. Second is axillary bud or lateral bud. Apical bud, the growth of the stem and its branches takes place. Lateral buds will give rise to lateral shoot or lateral branches. Here, young stem is what color ma? Green in color, and lateral will become, later it will become woody and dark. This is the basic concept you know. What you have to remember from here, over stem you will have nodes and internodes. More the internodal length, more will be the stem length of the stem. Internodal length will be increased by the action of gibberellic acid. Stems will bear two types of buds, apical and lateral buds. That's all. What are the major functions of the stem? Translocation of water, minerals, nutrients. That will be the major function of the stem, followed by giving mechanical support to the plant. Right ma? So, here stem will bear leaves, flowers and fruits. This will conduct photosynthesis. Photosynthesis means nutrients, sugar molecules from leaves, fruits, storage organs to roots. Yes or no? In simple term, stem will conduct photosynthesis from source to sink. Okay? Whereas water and mineral salts, these are unidirectional in their transport, that is from roots to various parts of the plant body. Understood? These two are the major functions of the stem. Apart from this, if stem is performing any other activities, those are addressed as what? Stem modifications. As such, we have three types of stem modifications. First is underground stem modification, subaerial stem modification, aerial stem modification. Okay. Very quite times you got questions from root and stem modifications. Those are statement based. So, along with examples, what you have to remember, what is each type of modification you have to remember clearly. If it is root modification, you should know the type of origin and type of growth. If it is stem modification, you should know which part of the stem is getting modified. Okay? Underground, subaerial, aerial. Underground stem modification includes stem tuber, rhizome, comb, bulb. Okay ma? Subaerial includes runner, stolon, offset, sucker. Aerial stem modifications include stem tendrils, thorns, phylloclades, cladophylls, bulbils. Clear? Now, first underground stem modifications. Main purpose of underground stem modification is to store food materials. Okay. They act as organs of perennation to tide over unfavorable conditions. This statement you are listening second time or third time. That's saying it as what? Organs of perennation. What does it mean? Any structure, be it endospore, be it a root or be it a stem or any part of the plant body or any structure, if it is surviving during unfavorable conditions and when favorable conditions are resuming back, it is giving rise to a new generation. That is known as what? Organs of perennation to tide over unfavorable conditions. Same the case with endospore, you will see, no? In unfavorable condition, it is thriving out. Whenever favorable conditions are resumed back, it is giving rise to a bacteria. Same the case here. Unfavorable conditions, it will survive, the stem survives. When favorable condition resumes back, from nodal region, new plantlet will arise, which promotes what? Vegetative propagation. Understood everybody this statement? Any doubts anywhere ma? And then this helps in what? Vegetative propagation. All underground stem modifications will bear nodes, internodes, buds and scaly leaves. All stems, all underground stems will be bearing it. Do you see any such structures in root? No. Only in the underground stem or in any other subaerial or aerial stem also. It is same for underground as well. Stem tuber, what you have to remember here most. Sit straight and everyone listen attentively, very important. Okay. Stem tuber, you see, if this is the stem region ma. Okay. How stem tuber is forming? the lateral branch, the terminal portion of the lateral branch is getting what? Tuberous, and that is the potato that we eat. Okay, what is the modification? The terminal portion of the lateral branch is getting what? Tuberous. Here you see the terminal portion of lateral underground stem branch is swollen or tuberous. That is what? Potato, which is what type of modification? Stem tuber. So, stem tuber is what type of modification? Remember this image. The terminal portion of lateral branch is getting swollen or tuberous, and it is storing food there. That is edible and we will have it. Okay. Example is potato. Second, rhizome. Ginger is the example, wherein this grows parallelly to the soil surface. Okay, it grows parallelly to the soil surface, which is horizontal to the soil surface. Example, ginger and turmeric. Here you will see scaly leaves, internodes are present, adventitious roots are present. The raw ginger, if you directly get it from market, okay, we will have Thursday markets, Wednesday markets and all, right. If you get it directly, you can see the adventitious roots over it until you wash it. You can see internodals, you can see scaly leaves, you can see buds, you can see nodes, okay, and how they are parallel to the soil surface. Understood both about stem, tuber and rhizome? You can answer the statements, right? Yeah, example of rhizome is ginger and turmeric. Ginger also addressed as gingiber, turmeric also known as curcuma. Curcuma, same. Your comfort, it will not feel bad, okay? It will feel bad when you remember its modification. When you don't remember its modification, it feels bad, okay? Rhizome modification, ginger and turmeric. Stem tuber modification, potato. Clear no ma? Next is calm. Yes, ostadi. Colocasia ippudu coming, deenlo ostadi. Hold on. Calm here is what? This grows vertically beneath the soil surface. Rhizome is growing parallel to the soil surface. Calm is growing vertical to the soil surface. This is unbranched, whereas stem tuber is branched. Rhizome is branched. Calm is unbranched. Rhizome is growing parallel to the soil surface. Calm is growing vertically beneath the soil. Examples include what? Zaminkan and Colocasia. Zaminkan, Amorphophallus and Colocasia. Clear no? Any doubts anywhere ma? No, right? Yeah, Zaminkan and Colocasia. Next is bulb. Okay. In bulb what happens is the stem gets reduced. Stem get reduced and it forms into what? Disc shaped structure. Of course, stem will have nodes, internodes, buds, scaly leaves. Everything will be there, right? Stem itself is reducing into what? Disc shaped structure. Here, all scaly leaves will be present like this. That only we will chop and eat daily. Okay? Those are scaly leaves. And at the center you will have what? Shoot bud. At the center it is shoot bud. Okay? Here, this is known as tunic. Shoot bud with scaly leaves is known as what ma? Tunic. At the end, last layer will be dry or scaly leaf. All the center are what? Fleshy leaves. Okay. So, here stem gets reduced to disc shaped structure, last will be scaly, the centers will be fleshy leaves. At the center what is there? Bud is there, shoot bud is there. Got it ma? Now, you have two types of tunics, one is simple tunic and second is compound tunic. Nobody will ask you in the exam, for your understanding I am telling you. Simple tunic example will be onion, compound tunic example will be garlic, velulli. You will see compound tunic there. Each stemlet of that tunic is what? One tunic. Like that all tunics together it is a compound tunic. Every tunic will have a scaly leaf and fleshy leaves. Got ma? So, this is what? Bulb. Example is onion, garlic, lily. So, all the four types of underground stems are clear to you. Tell me, what is the stem tuber modification? Lateral part of, terminal part of lateral branch will get tuberous. Example is Potato. Next is rhizome. Tell me what part is horizontally it grows beneath the ground. It is branched, it has nodes, internodes, scaly leaves. Okay, and it also has adventitious roots. Example is ginger and turmeric. Third is what, ma? Corm. It grows vertically beneath the soil. Okay, and it is unbranched. Example includes Zamin Palm, which is Amorphophallus and Colocasia. Next is bulb. Bulb stem is reduced to disc-shaped structure. You have scaly leaves. At the center you have shoot bud. Okay, that combinedly you will call it as tunic. Simple tunic example is onion. Compound tunic example is garlic. Clear? Understood about underground stem modifications, right? Now, subaerial stem modifications. Here you see elongated prostrate branches with long internodes are present. We have runner, stolon, sucker, offset. First runner, one thing you fix it in your mind, longer internodes are present. Internodes are longer. Longer internodes are present such that they will spread into the new niches, means new regions. Such longer internodes are present. Elongated prostrate branches with longer internodes, they will spread into new niches and they form new plants. When older plant parts die, when they go to the new niches, they will give rise to what? New plants. Got it? Example, roots will arise where? At the nodal regions. Okay, see if this is the main branch. Lateral branch are prostrate. Prostrate means they are growing horizontally to the ground. To this branch, you have nodal regions, right? At this nodal regions, what are growing? Adventitious roots are growing. And you have longer internodal lengths, so that this prostrate branch is entering into a new niche. Okay, new area, new place. And this grows into a new plant when older plant parts die. Clear now about runner? Examples include oxalis and grasses. Next, stolon. A slender lateral branch arises from the base of the main axis. After growing aerially for some time, this arches downwards and touches the ground. Okay, so here one lateral branch will grow horizontal. Okay, this grows horizontal, it will touch the ground and again it grows. The region, the nodal region which is towards the ground, that develops into what? Adventitious roots. Remember one thing, this is growing horizontal, touching the ground, but it is not going underground and again obliquely upwards. That is for sucker. In sucker what happens, you know, the lateral branch will grow downwards, deeper into the soil, and again it rises up obliquely upwards. But here it just touches the ground and rises up. Got it? That is about what? Stolon. Examples include what, ma? Nerium and jasmine. Runner examples? Oxalis and grasses. Stolon examples? Offset. Lateral branch of one internodal length. Here internodal length is small. And leaves are modified to rosette structures. Okay, each node will bear what? Rosette of leaves and tuft of roots. Internodal length is just one internodal length, short internodal length, and at each nodal region what do you see? Tuft of roots and rosette of leaves. Examples include aquatic plants like Pistia and Eichhornia. Aquatic plants like Pistia and Eichhornia. Tell me the examples of stolon. Nerium and jasmine. Of runner, oxalis and grasses. Of offset, Pistia and Eichhornia. Last is sucker, subaerial modification. Here as I told you, can you see the lateral branch is growing underground and then it is growing obliquely upwards. The lateral branch originates from the base and underground portion, okay, of the main axis. It grows horizontally beneath the soil and then it grows obliquely upwards. This is not the case with stolon. It grows horizontally to the soil, touches the soil and then moves off. At that nodal region what grows? Adventitious roots. Examples include what, ma? chrysanthemum, pineapple and banana. Stolon examples, Nerium, jasmine. Runner examples, offset examples, sucker examples, chrysanthemum, pineapple, banana. Write with all the subaerial stem modifications. Next, stem tendrils. These are what? Aerial stem modifications. Done with subaerial and underground stem modifications. Now, aerial stem modification, first is stem tendrils. Remember, either it is thorn modification or stem tendril modification. What is modifying? Buds. Buds are modifying. It is not leaflet, it is not stem branch, okay, or it is not the flower. No, any other part is modified. What is modified? Bud is modified. Terminal buds are modified to stem tendrils in grapevines. Terminal buds. Auxiliary buds are modified to stem tendrils in gourds. Examples include cucumber, pumpkin, watermelon. Cucumber, pumpkin and watermelon. So, how can you define these stem tendrils as? Slender, spirally coiled structures. They support weak and tender stems. Clear with stem tendrils, everybody? Then, thorns. Okay. Auxiliary buds modified to hard, woody, pointed structures. Here also what are modifying, ma? Auxiliary buds. Buds are only modifying, be it in stem tendrils or thorns, into pointed structures. Examples include citrus and bougainvillea. Why stem tendril modification? To give mechanical support to the stem, to main stem. Okay. Why thorn modification? To protect the plant from predators like herbivores. Next is phylloclades. In arid regions, that is in desert or dry regions, some plants modify their stems into fleshy flattened, fleshy cylindrical and needle-like structure. Stems are modified like this, and they perform what? Photosynthesis. They are green in color and they perform photosynthesis. Fleshy flattened, opuntia, fleshy cylindrical, euphorbia, needle-like structures, casuarina. They are of what? Unlimited growth. They grow unlimitedly and they contain chlorophyll and they carry out photosynthesis. Clear with this? Stem tendril modification, tell me. Terminal bud modification is grapevine. Very good. Gourds? Axillary bud modification, examples? Pumpkin, watermelon. Pumpkin, watermelon and one more? Cucumber. Second is what? Thorns. Examples? Citrus and bougainvillea. What is that modifying? Third is what? Phylloclades. Here stem is modified to fleshy structures. Fleshy flattened, fleshy cylindrical, needle-like structures. Flattened, opuntia, cylindrical, euphorbia and needle-like casuarina. Next. Then in phylloclades, how leaves are modified into spines or thorns. This you will learn in leaf modification again. Leaves are reduced to small spines. Cladophylls, the green branches of limited growth. Phylloclades are of unlimited growth. Cladophylls are of limited growth. The green branches of limited growth, they are modified to perform what? Photosynthesis. True leaves are modified to scales or spines. Examples include what, ma? Asparagus and ruscus. Asparagus and ruscus. Next is bulbils. In some plant parts, vegetative buds and floral buds will store the food material. Again, what is modifying? Buds. It can be vegetative bud or floral bud. If vegetative buds are storing food, it is the example Dioscorea. Floral buds storing food, the example Agave. When they detach from the parent plants, they develop into what roots? Adventitious roots, and they help in vegetative reproduction. Clear, ma? This is about bulbils. So now you are clear with aerial, subaerial, underground modifications. Let us recall them and place it in a single slide. Here we go. First is stem tuber. Examples? Potato. Rhizome? Ginger. Turmeric. Corm? Colocasia. Amorphophallus. Bulb? Runner? Oxalis and grasses. Stolon? Jasmine? Very good. Offset? Pistia, Eucornia. Sucker? Chrysanthemum. Pineapple. Banana. Stem tendrils? Terminal bud modification? Auxiliary bud modification? Good. Watermelon. I am simply writing here as gourds, okay? Thorns? Which region is modifying, ma? Buds, terminal bud and auxiliary bud. Here also it is bud modification. Auxiliary buds. Thorns include citrus and bougainvillea. Phylloclads. Fleshy flattened is Opentia. Fleshy cylindrical, Euphorbia. Needle-like structures? Very good. Cladophils? Asparagus. Ruscus. Bulbils? Dioscorea. Agave and Dioscorea. Done. Once go through all the examples, fix it in your mind. Explanations also. If you want any modification to be explained again, I will do it. But fix it in your mind. Once it is registered, now you can easily identify amongst options. Next, leaf. This is the diagram from anatomy, okay, where shoot apical meristem here at the center is at the apical region. Okay. Shoot apical meristem is at which region? Apical region. But root apical meristem is at subapical region. Shoot apical meristem apical region, root apical meristem at subapical region. Here leaf is green flattened lateral branch borne on the node of the stem. They are arranged in which order? Leaves are arranged in acropetal order. They are vegetative organs which perform only one activity, that is photosynthesis. There are three regions of the leaf. One is leaf base, second is petiole, and third is lamina of the leaf. This is the leaf base. At leaf base, small bract-like structures are present known as stipules. If these bract-like structures present at the base of peduncle, you will call it as bracteate. If they are present at the base of pedicel, you will call it as bracteolate. At the base of leaf, you will call it as stipule. Understood? Clear now? And then petiole. Petiole is the main axis of the leaf. Okay. This will carry the leaf blade. And this is lamina, which is leaf blade or lamina, which performs the photosynthesis. So, these are the three regions. Leaf base will bear what? Stipules in monocotyledons. What happens is, you can see in all the poaceae members, leaf blade is like this. They are expanded. Leaf base expands into sheath covering the stem parallelly or wholly. This you see in monocots. This kind of leaf base will be there. Okay. Examples, leguminous plants. In leguminous plants you will have pulvinous leaf base, that is swollen leaf base. It bears stipules, leaf base bears stipules. Most of the monocotyledons leaf base is expanded so that it covers the stem partially or wholly, means completely. In leguminous plants you can see what? Swollen leaf base. Second part of the leaf is petiole. This petiole will expose the lamina to the sunlight. Okay. Here it has long, thin, flexible petioles, and the petiole will give what? Cooling effect to the leaf. It gives cooling effect to the leaves and it brings fresh air to the leaf surface. This is about petiole. Third is leaf blade or lamina. This expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets. Expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets is what? Lamina or leaf blade. Here the middle prominent vein is what? Middle prominent vein is midrib. Veins will provide rigidity to veinlets and they act as channels for transport of water, minerals and food. Okay, this will help in the transport of water, minerals and food. These are the three parts of leaf. Clear? What are they? Leaf base, petiole, lamina. In monocots, how leaf base is there? In leguminous plant, how it is there? Pulvinous leaf base. So, swollen leaf base. Now, venation. Venation means how veins are arranged on the leaf. This main vein is known as what? Midrib, and these are known as veinlets. They are reticulate, means network like arrangement you can see in dicots. Parallelly they are arranged in monocots. Amongst these two types of venations, tell me which is more advanced? Parallel venation is more advanced type of venation because this will provide the equal share of minerals and nutrients all across the leaf. But reticulate venation gives out what? Network like structure. Okay, this is more advanced and this you will observe in most of the monocots and this in most of the dicots. Types of leaves. You have simple leaf, compound leaves. Simple leaf, a single leaflet arises at each node. Examples, hibiscus, pear, mango. Pinnately compound. At each nodal region, there is a sub branch that arises to which it develops into what? A new leaflet completely. Okay, this is pinnately compound. At a single nodal point, you can see more leaflets growing. A single bud region, okay, axillary bud, gives rise to a leaflet, and over this at single nodal point you can see multiple leaflets. Such is called as what? Palmately compound. Pinnately compound examples, Nerium tamarind. Palmately compound examples, silk cotton. Phyllotaxy, alternate, opposite, whorled phyllotaxy. Alternate phyllotaxy, at each nodal point a leaflet will arise. At each nodal point a leaflet will arise. This is alternate phyllotaxy. Examples include what? China rose, mustard, sunflower. Opposite phyllotaxy, at each node two leaves are arising opposite to each other. Example, calotropis and goa. At each nodal point more than two leaflets are arising. That is known as what? Whorled leaf. Whorled arrangement of phyllotaxy. Example is Nerium alstonia. Done. This is about phyllotaxy. So the primary functions of the leaves include what? Photosynthesis, transpiration, gaseous exchange. Apart from this, if they are providing any other functions, they are modified to leaf tendrils, leaf spines, storage organs, phyllodes, insectivorous plants and vegetative propagation. First is leaf tendrils. Can you see? Don't get confused between leaf tendrils and stem tendrils. Stem tendril is the modification of what? Terminal bud and auxiliary bud. Here in leaf tendril, the upper leaf, for example, wild pea, if you see, the whole leaf is modified to a tendril. Leaf is modified to a tendril. Their bud is modified to tendril. Here leaf is modified to tendril. What is the modification of stipules? Stipules become foliaceous and they perform photosynthesis. Whereas in sweet pea or edible pea that we eat, peas, okay, upper leaflets are modified to what? Tendrils. In wild pea, whole leaf is modified to tendril. Example is wild pea. Whole leaf is modified to tendril. Stipules are performing photosynthesis. Sweet pea or edible pea, only upper part of the leaflets are modified to tendrils. Got it? Next is leaf spines. Here what are modifying? Leaves are modifying to spines. This you observed in phyllo-clad type of stem modification. Examples, this is used to what? Reduce transpiration. This protects the plant from browsing animals. Examples include aloe vera and cactus. Next is storage organs. We have discussed in bulbil, right? They are fleshy leaves, scale leaves. They are edible. Okay. So bulb is also a modification of leaf. And succulent leaf you will see in aloe vera, where it will store water and it is mucilaginous. Next is phylloid. Don't get confused between phyllo-clad and phylloid. Phyllo-clad is for stem modification, phylloid is for leaf modification. Here leaves are pinnately compound and leaflets are small and short-lived. Petioles are green and they perform photosynthesis. In phylloid, what is performing photosynthesis? Petioles are performing photosynthesis. Examples include Australian acacia. Insectivorous plants, you know. Examples include what? Nepenthes and Venus flytrap. Here upper petiole is modified to a tendril like this. Okay, upper petiole is modified to a tendril. Lower petiole to a phylloid, means which performs photosynthesis. Next, pitcher is modified to what? Lamina is modified to pitcher. Stipules are there, right? Bract-like structures. They are expanded and they are performing what? Photosynthesis. And leaf apex is modified to what? Lid. Upper petiole to tendril. Lower petiole to phylloid. Lamina is modified to pitcher. Stipules expanded for photosynthesis. Leaf apex is modified to lid. Okay, clear? This is what insectivorous plants modification. Next, reproductive leaves. The leaves which arise at the margins of the main axis. Leaves modified to help what? Vegetative propagation. In bryophyllum, epiphyllous buds, they arise from the notches of the leaves. These are the notches of the leaves. Epiphyllous buds will arise, and when they land onto the soil, they give rise to a new plant. Epiphyllous buds develop what roots? Adventitious roots. Can you see here adventitious roots? They detach and develop into new individuals. So, what type of modifications we have learnt in leaf? Leaf tendrils, leaf spines, storage organs, phyllodes, insectivorous leaves, vegetative propagation. Leaf tendrils examples: wild pea, sweet pea. Leaf spines: cactus, opuntia, aloe vera. Storage organs: aloe vera and onions. Phyllodes examples: Australian acacia, good. Insectivorous leaves: Nepenthes and Venus flytrap. Vegetative propagation: Bryophylla. Clear all the vegetative characters? Confident? Okay. So, what you have to revise when you are revising is one chart that I have given for root, second chart I have given for stem, third I have given for leaf. These three you revise. Fourth most point is regions of the root. That's all, your revision gets completed. Okay. Now, we will move on to families. You'll get this, don't worry, I'll save this. Drink some water, relax yourself. Family is very much important. Just give me another 20 minutes to half an hour, it will be done. So, families, if we start now, what families we are discussing? Asteraceae, which is also known as Compositae, Brassicaceae also known as Cruciferae, Fabaceae also known as Leguminosae, Poaceae also addressed as Graminae, Malvaceae, Hibiscus family. Okay? These 5 families we have to learn. I told you, right? Floral diagram, floral formula, examples, specific modified vegetative characters. That's all. Before learning the floral diagram, you should be clear on the semi-technical description. About bract and bracteolate, I told you. Okay, small leaflet-like structures or bracts that are present at the base of peduncle. These are present at the base of pedicels. If they are present, it is bracteate and bracteolate. If they are absent, it is ebracteate and ebracteate. And flower symmetry we have learnt. Radial symmetry, this is the symbol. Bilateral symmetry, this is the symbol. Fine. For male flower, female flower, bisexual flower. Okay. This is K for calyx, C corolla, P perianth that you observe in Liliaceae members. A androecium, gynoecium, superior ovary, inferior ovary. Superior ovary means hyphen will be at the base of G, inferior means it will be at the base of, at the tip of G. This statement is important. What floral diagram will provide you? A floral diagram provides information about the number of parts of a flower, how many parts are present, their arrangement you will get to know how they are arranged, and relationship they have with one wall to the other. Cohesion and adhesion you will get to know. What you will get to know from floral diagram? Number of parts, their arrangement and their relationship with one another. What you will get to know from floral formula? It shows cohesion and adhesion within the parts of the words or in between the words. This you will get through what? Floral diagram and floral formula, important for statements. Now, first Fabaceae you see. In Fabaceae, the outermost wall, any floral diagram remember, outermost wall is calyx, next is corolla, next is androecium, next is calyx. Have calyx, what type of aestivation? From floral diagram only you can say the aestivation. Calyx is of what aestivation? Valvate aestivation. Okay, it is of valvate aestivation. Corolla is of what aestivation? One standard petal is present, two wing petals are present, two keel petals are present. What aestivation? Vexillary aestivation. Androecium you can see cohesion, right, not adhesion. So, yesterday when I am talking about androecium, I need to correct this. Once again about androecium cohesion and adhesion, ma. I made a small mistake. Androecium cohesion and adhesion. Cohesion you see means only stamens are uniting with each other, that is what cohesion. If at all, anther lobes are free and only filaments are uniting. Anther lobes are free and only filaments are uniting. This type of cohesion is known as adelphous. Okay. If at all, anther lobes are uniting and filaments are free, this is known as syngenetious. Okay. If at all, both anther lobes and filaments are uniting with each other, this is observed in Cucurbitaceae members, it is known as synandry. Synandry. Now you see adhesion, where stamen is attaching to any other part of the word. If androecium is attached to petals, that is corolla, it is known as what? Epipetalous, observed in Solanaceae members. Yeah, brinjal you can take, tomato you can take. If androecium is attached to perianth, observed in what family? This is known as Epiphyllus. That is what? Liliaceae. If androecium attached to gynoecium, it is known as gynandrous. Observed in Malvaceae members. Okay, clear? Huh. The syngenetious types are again of 3 types. Only anther lobes uniting to each other. If they are uniting and forming a single bunch, it is known as monodalphous. Good. Monodalphous China rose. If it is forming 2 bunches, diadalphous. Example, pea and bean. Okay. If it is polyadalphous, multiple bunches you can see. Example, citrus. Done right? Understood everyone? Clearly? Sangeeta, okay? Which one? These types are okay, okay. Now is it clear? If any other is there, you can tell me freely, openly, okay? These are the types of what? Adalphous, means only filaments are uniting and anther lobes are free, forming out to a single bunch. Single bunch, 2 bunches, multiple bunches. Definitely there will be one question from cohesion or adhesion either in your NEET or in EAPCET. That is why even if it is a minute mistake, I am correcting it again. Okay? Cohesion and adhesion, very important. First is what ma? Adalphous. 3 are there. What are they? Monodalphous, diadalphous, polyadalphous. Monodalphous examples, China rose, diadalphous, pea and bean, polyadalphous, citrus. Next is syngenetious, where anther lobes are united and filaments are free. Next is synandry, where both anther lobes and filaments are fused with each other. Example, you will see it in cucurbitaceae members. Adhesion, androecium attached to petals or corolla, it is epipetalous, observed in solanaceae members. Androecium attached to perianth, observed in liliaceae members, which is epiphyllous. Androecium attached to gynoecium, gynandrous, observed in malvaceae members. Understood, ma? Yeah. Here we go. So like that, here androecium of Fabaceae, you can see 2 bunches, right? This is one bunch. 9 stamens are forming what? Single bunch, and 1 stamen alone is forming the other bunch, which is of what? Diadalphous condition, where 9 are fused plus 1 is free. And gynoecium is monocarpellary and superior. It has what ovary? Superior ovary. It is bracteate, bracteolate, zygomorphic because of vexillary aestivation. It is bisexual because in floral diagram you can see both androecium and gynoecium. Calyx is 5 fused. Here sepals are touching to each other, but they are not overlapping with each other. So what aestivation it is, ma? Valvate aestivation, and they are fused. Corolla, 1 standard petal plus 2 wing petals plus 2 keel petals. 2 keel petals are fused. Androecium, 9 fused plus 1, showing diadalphous condition. Next, gynoecium, it has superior ovary, monocarpellary, single carpel is present. Got it? Understood everyone? Next. Brassicaceae. Observe clearly. Outer wall is what, Nana? Outer wall is what? Calyx. Next to that? Next to that? Next to that? Calyx, if you see, 2 whorls are inner side, 2 are outer side. Is it a common arrangement of overlapping? No. Dissimilar pattern of orientation is same. So this is what calyx is. What aestivation? Imbricate aestivation. How many whorls are there? 4. 2 plus 2. Next corolla also 2 plus 2, but they are side by side to each other, not overlapping with each other. What estivation? Valvate. Okay. Androecium, based on the length of androecium, we have seen 2 short filaments, 2 long filaments. Like that it has 2 short filaments, 4 long filaments, which is 2 plus 4. Okay. Gynoecium, bicarpellary, it forms false septa. False septa formation means what? Placentation? Very good. Parietal placentation. Here what placentation ma? Marginal. Recalled?
Yes.
Why I am telling is, for all these families will have certain set of examples, right? To all that this is applicable. Okay, it is not just under that estivation, placentation, whichever examples you are getting. Apart from that, this also they will be asking. Okay ma? So that is why when you are reading families, you have to remember this also. Fabaceae having what placentation? Brassicaceae? Parietal placentation. This is known as cruciferae because corolla will show cruciform like structure like this. Cruciform like structure. That is why it is also known as what? Cruciferae. Clear? So it is ebracteate, whereas Fabaceae is bracteate, bracteolate. This is ebracteate, actinomorphic. Both androecium, gynoecium are there. Bisexual, calyx 2 plus 2, imbricate estivation. Corolla 4, valvate estivation. Androecium 2 plus 4, gynoecium, superior ovary and bicarpellary. What placentation ma? Parietal placentation. Clear with Fabaceae and Brassicaceae? Fabaceae also known as what ma? Leguminosae. Brassicaceae also known as cruciferae. Clear? Understood everyone? Next is Malvaceae. Malvaceae. Here above calyx you have certain structures called as epicalyx region. Epicalyx is present. Next to that what? Calyx, then corolla, then androecium, then gynoecium. Okay. So epicalyx are how many? 5 to 7 epicalyx are present. Next, valvate estivation, no? Calyx. Calyx is showing what type of estivation? Sepals are arranged what? What estivation? Valvate, right? Why are you so doubtful, ma? The diagram is clear, no? Everybody can see. Valvate estivation. And here you can see equal orientation. There is a pattern of orientation. This is what? Twisted type. Okay. So calyx 5 fused, corolla 5 free. Androecium, they are adjoining to corolla and to gynoecium. It is showing both epipetalous condition and gynandrous condition. Both epipetalous and gynandrous. Okay. And you can see infinite androecium, infinite stamens are present. Gynoecium is pentacarpellary, 5 carpels are present with superior ovary. Clear with Malvaceae? Everybody? Any doubts anywhere ma? Yeah. Next, Asteraceae or Compositae. Asteraceae or Compositae. It has both type of florets, ray florets and disc florets. Ray florets are at the end or edges and disc florets are at the center. In what type of inflorescence? Head or capitulum type of inflorescence. So ray florets you see, you can see paper like calyx. Calyx reduced to paper like structure called as pappus. Next, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Okay. So ray florets if you see, only female flowers are present, androecium is 0, only gynoecium is there. It is bracteate, zygomorphic, only female flowers are present, not bisexual. Calyx is reduced to pappus, corolla are 5, fused, Androecium is 0, gynoecium is 2 with inferior ovary, epigynous flower. Clear with ray florets? Second is what ma? Disc florets which are at the center. It is bracteate, zygomorphic and actinomorphic. Both type you can see. Bisexual, calyx reduced to pappus, corolla is adjoined to androecium. Showing what ma? Epipetalous condition. Okay. Corolla 5 fused of what estivation? Valvate estivation. Okay. And androecium are 5. Gynoecium epigynous bicarpillary. Clear with ray florets and disc florets of Asteraceae members? Clear with Malvaceae? Last, Poaceae members. Floral diagram and floral formula you see. This is the floral diagram. Listen carefully. It is bracteate and bracteolate, both are present. Bracteate, bracteolate, zygomorphic, bisexual. It has both androecium is present, gynoecium is present. Perianth is reduced to laudicules, which are much reduced structures than perianth. 2 or 3 perianth structures will be there. Androecium will be 3 or 6. 3 or multiples of 3. Gynoecium is just 1, which is monocarpillary and it has superior ovary. Poaceae members, bracteate, bracteolate, zygomorphic, bisexual, perianth is reduced to laudicules, 2 or 3 will be present, androecium 3 or multiples of 3, gynoecium is 1, it is having what type of ovary? Superior ovary. Like how perianth is the reduced structure of calyx and corolla, laudicules are much reduced structures than perianth. Okay? Clear with all the families? First we have learnt about what ma? Fabaceae. Look into the floral diagram and floral formula carefully. Next is Brassicaceae or cruciferae. Floral diagram and floral formula. Done? Malvaceae and Asteraceae. Asteraceae both ray florets and disc florets. Done ma? Poaceae. If you are done with this, we will move on to the comparative study. Yeah. Now, vegetative characters. Roots are adventitious in Asteraceae, tap roots, Brassicaceae. Fabaceae you will see nodular roots. This you have to remember. Wherever I am giving the star mark na, that you focus and see. In Fabaceae what type of root system is present? Nodular roots. Fibrous roots in Poaceae, tap roots again Malvaceae. Next is stem. Herbaceous branched Asteraceae, erect and herbaceous Brassicaceae, herbaceous and woody Fabaceae. Rhizome you can see in perennials. Okay. Culm means hollow branches. You can see bamboo branches, right, which are hollow inside. That is known as what? Culm, with nodes and internodes. This is characteristic feature of what? Poaceae. Next, leaves. Stipulate leaves you can see in Asteraceae. Exstipulate you can see in Brassicaceae. Stipulate spinnately reticulate compound. Sessile leaves in Poaceae. Sessile leaves. Stipulate with simple petiolate in Malvaceae. Focus on stipule, exstipulate conditions and sessile. Okay. Rhizome of Poaceae members, nodular roots in Fabaceae members, stipulate and exstipulate condition. Only exstipulate you will see where in Brassicaceae. Important. Okay, ma? Next. Inflorescence. We have already learnt in floral diagram, floral formula. We are just revising here. Sit straight and listen attentively. Head or capitulum in Asteraceae, racemose type of inflorescence in Brassicaceae, both racemose, cymose you will see in Fabaceae, spikelet you will see in Poaceae. In spikelet inflorescence only, no, you will see sessile florals, and then solitary single flower will be arising in Malvaceae. Flower bisexual epigynous in Asteraceae. Actinomorphic and zygomorphic both are possible in Brassicaceae, zygomorphic in Fabaceae. Here also it is zygomorphic in Poaceae, actinomorphic in Malvaceae. Corolla 5, gamopetalous of what aestivation, ma? Valvate. Polypetalous, valvate aestivation in Brassicaceae. Vexillary or papillonaceous corolla is seen where in Fabaceae. Twisted type of aestivation you observe in Poaceae. Twisted type of aestivation in Malvaceae. Of what? Corolla. Calyx, pappus, reduced structures in Asteraceae. Polysepalous and imbricate type of calyx you can see in Cruciferae. Valvate or imbricate, anything is possible in Fabaceae members. Calyx is reduced to lodicules, calyx corolla reduced to lodicules in Poaceae members. Polysepalous of valvate aestivation, and in Malvaceae members you will also see epicalyx. Got it? This is the comparative analysis. Last, about gynoecium and andrecium. Bicarpellary, syncarpous, unilocular. Everywhere placentation is important and how many carpels are present is important. This is bicarpellary and having what? Basal placentation, single ovule. Next, bicarpellary, unilocular, false septum or replum in Brassicaceae, parietal placentation. Monocarpellary, superior ovary in Fabaceae. Poaceae members, what type of placentation, ma? Marginal. Monocarpellary, tricarpellary, and this also shows what? Basal placentation. Malvaceae is pentacarpellary, has what type of placentation? Axial placentation. Okay. Next is andrecium. You can see epipetalous condition. Here is tetradynamous condition in Brassicaceae, where long and short filaments are observed. Diadelphous you observe in Fabaceae members. Monothecous stamens are seen in Poaceae. Mostly it is dithecous in all the other families. Monothecous you will see it in Poaceae members. Malvaceae it is monodelphous. Example, China rose or hibiscus. Last, seed fruit examples. Examples are very important. Hold on. Last slide of your favorite chapter. Seed type is non-endospermic in Asteraceae. Non-endospermic all because they are of mostly dicotyledons. Monocotyledons endosperm. That's all. Clear with seed type? Fruit, Cypsilla in Asteraceae, Siliqua in Brassicaceae, legume or pod in Fabaceae, Caryopsis poaceae, dry capsule schizocarp, you will see it in Malvaceae members. Then examples, lettuce, Parthenium, marigold, sunflower. Belongs to what? Cabbage, cauliflower, turnip, radish. Easy to remember. You can choose it out now from options. Fabaceae, remember. Arachis hypogea is what? Groundnut. Trifolium, sun hemp, Sesbania, lupin, indigofora which is used as dye, pulses, peas which are edible, Dolichum, Mulati. Mulati is the medicinal plant. All this belongs to Fabaceae. For this you have to look it for 2 to 3 times to remember, that's all. Poaceae members again you can easily remember. Monocots, right? Maize, rice, barley, grass, sugarcane. Maize, Zea maize, Oryza sativa, rice, Saccharum officinarum, clear? This you can remember again. Lady's finger, Urena, Gossypium, hibiscus belongs to Malvaceae members. You will face some difficulty in remembering just Fabaceae and Malvaceae members. Look it for 2 to 3 times, it will be fixed in your mind. Okay? So, you are clear now what you have to remember? Floral diagram, floral formula, examples here to choose out amongst 4. Lastly is what? Modified vegetative characters, seed type, fruit type, that's all. Okay, ma, you can take it. Solanaceae and Liliaceae are not given in the new syllabus, but I will explain you for EAPCET people. I will explain you now.